you're here with me today for class. Okay, there we go. Our recording is in progress. Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you something so awesome. We are going to be making a gorgeous beaded frame using the seed beads from John Bead that you can find at Michael's. So I'm going to go over our supplies really quickly. All right, so first you are going to get a frame from Make Market. Would you mind switching over to the other camera? Thank you so much. Okay, so these frames, I love them so much because they're only 99 cents. You really can't go wrong. They have tons of different shapes and sizes. So this is what we will be using. We have our gorgeous size 6.0 seed beads from John Bead, and then I'll be using a hot glue gun and these glittery glue sticks because we need glitter, right? We need glitter for everything. They're so pretty. And then I am using a needle that has a flat head on the end. I like to use this to pick up my seed beads. I just found that it is very easy to do, and then they don't fall off the back there because it has the little flat head at the bottom. Now, if you do not have a glue gun, that's totally okay. I recommend using some sort of really tacky glue that you could use. There's the heavy duty tacky glue. There's the liquid fusion that I've used. That one's from Aleene's. Any kind of thick tacky glue would work. Now, when we're doing this, what I like to do is I like to do the outlines first. And then we can start with like our flowers, our words, and our details, and then fill it in. And then at the very end, if you notice that when using the hot glue gun, some of your beads don't seem super secure or they're sitting higher than others, what we'll do is we're going to fix that right up by using our handy dandy heat gun. And that heat gun will plug in and we'll just slowly go over all of that beadwork and kind of push those beads in place if you feel like they may come off. And that's only when using the heat gun. If you're using a tacky glue, then you don't need to do that. The tacky glue will hold it in. But the difference that I noticed, and the why I like using the hot glue gun, is that the hot glue dries very quickly, so the beads aren't moving around like when I use the other type of glue. But you may like the reverse of that, and that's totally fine. So I have my hot glue gun plugged in. And you can see here in this picture frame, this one says 2024. Now what I'm going to do differently in this frame is I'm going to orient it different. So down here, and I'm not going to do 2024. I'm actually going to write BFF for Best Friends Forever. And this will be a picture frame for my daughter to give to one of her best friends. Okay, so what I want to do is start in the middle here just to get my lettering right. And I'm going to start in the middle of my BFF so that I visually can see it and then it's even. So I'm going to start with an F, and I am using just a pencil here. Doot, doot, doot. And then I'm going to come over here, do another F. Now on my first go at this, I did a Sharpie and I realized that that wasn't a good idea because the Sharpie kind of bled out on me. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that we could see it underneath of some of my seed beads because I was using some translucent, really pretty seed beads. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but it's very light, just a very light BFF right there. And now we can go ahead and get our beads going. So I think for the outside, I'm still going to go with teal. This color is mint julep. So pretty. I love teals, pinks, and orange together. They're just very pretty. All right. Make sure we have our hot glue gun loaded up. Now this one, you can get a hot glue gun at Michael's. This one is just a Surebonder one. I believe Surebonder is also available at Michael's. I mean, it should be. I think it is. All right, so now we're going to load up our needle first before we apply our glue, so that way our glue doesn't dry on us. Just a small amount of beads like that. And then we're going to take our hot glue gun, which has that really pretty glitter glue. And then we're just going to place our beads Oops, let me turn this. Place our beads on there and slowly pull that needle back as we maneuver around this curve here. And then I'll push them down. Okay. See, so we're getting those beads around that curve. And so the motion for these beads, or for the needle, is just to slowly remove the needle as you're pulling, as you're placing the beads down, you pull the needle out. And that helps you around those curves so that you're not just putting the beads in a straight line. And I'll do that again. And this is why when you're doing this method, at the very end, it's important to use the heat gun to go back over everything, because it's really going to solidify those beads. All right, push that there. So cute. I think this will be the perfect gift. And you don't have to put any phrases at all if you don't want to. You could do just some flowers, which I'll be showing you how to do as well. Go around this curve. And that's all you're going to be doing for a while, is you're just going to be loading up your needle, placing the beads, and then slowly pulling that needle out. And then tapping them down. And see, we have that nice, pretty curve there. Okay. Yes, I really like the idea of picking up the beads this way too. And it's not, the name of this this isn't technically a needle. It doesn't have like a sharp point. I forget what this is called, but you know, I use this for when I make my own charms. So like you'll get a bead, you'll put a charm on there, and then you take this and then curve the end of the needle, or the whatever this is called. But I love picking up my beads like this now. This is what I've been doing for all of my projects that I've been working on. Okay, go around here. And you know what else I love about this craft is that it does not break the bank either, because these frames are only 99 cents. And the beads are not that much either. Oh, one other thing that I totally forgot to point out, but that I wanted to, is if you wanted to paint your frame beforehand, you could totally do that, but I did not do that on my previous frame. But you could do your beadwork first and then come along and do the outside edge. That's what I was going to do with this one, because you can see from the front, it looks so pretty. It doesn't even really need the paint, in my opinion. But if you wanted to stain that wood too, that would look really nice. But I liked the bright, it's not white, you know, it's kind of like a beigey off-white color here. I liked that it made the beads really pop. So I found that I didn't need to paint first. Just go right on in, and the bead and hot glue, the beads and hot glue will really get rid of all of that empty space that you have there. Now, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm only going to do the bottom portion of the frame, and I'll finish it up on my own later, just because this class is only an hour. And I think when I did this frame, when I sat down and did it all in one go, and it took me not too long, but definitely over an hour. And I enjoy doing projects like that, you know, the kind of mindless crafts where you can just sit and have fun, listen to a podcast, listen to some music. Those are my favorite kinds. Okay, so we're gonna place the beads, turn it, and see how the needle slowly, you pull it out, and that's how we're getting those nice curves. And then if we have some hot glue left at the end, which I do there, I'll just grab a few more. If it's still wet, I'll just kind of push them into place. Ooh, getting those little hot glue hair strands on me. All right. While it's still warm, if you need to move them around a little bit so it's not so much of a straight line, you can do that. Okay. All right, here we go. So there's, oops, our bottom portion. Sorry, one of those little strands just was attached to me there. Let me put this right there. Put that bead right back on. Now, if you notice that one of your beads pop off, or it won't be as easy for your beads to knock off once it's completely filled in. Once it's completely filled in, it's way better. I promise you. It's one of those things where you just have to get through the entire process. You know what I mean? Okay. So that's the color that we're going to use on our outside. I think for the BFF, what I want to do is this really pretty metallic purple. And that's the name of the color. It's also called metallic purple. Very pretty. Okay, so we're going to use this for the BFF. Now, hopefully my daughter's friend will like this. That's what I do with a lot of my crafts. I love gifting them. I love making things for other people. And also my favorite gifts to receive are handmade gifts, because I know how much time it takes to how much time it takes to make them. Okay, so I'm just measuring while I have the beads on here. I'm just measuring to make sure, because I kind of want this to be precise when I put it down. So I'm going to take one bead off. And that should be good. Okay, so I'm going to do one straight line right here. Boom. Slide those beads right on there and pull out. Perfect. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same with the two lines of the F's first before I finish off the bead. And that's just because I want the same amount of beads at the beginning of for each letter. You know what I mean? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So we'll get 8 beads on there. Okay. Wipe the tip of my thing. Make sure it's nice and straight. We'll do the other F. There we go. Now let me see. I think 3 or 4 beads will do for the. So come. My goodness, excuse me. Sorry about that. All right, so we're going to go 3 beads for the tails of the F. And then once we finish off these letters, we will do the inside outline. And then we'll do our flowers, and then we'll fill. And I wish that you could see just how pretty this glitter glue is. It's adding the perfect amount of little sparkle on there. And also when working with the seed beads, I love using a different variety of seed beads, which you'll see some of the ones that we use will be silver lined. I love mixing that with the matte and the metallic, just because it looks so pretty at the end. All right, so we have our F's are done. Now we're going to finish our B. I have a glue strand, hold on. Portion of her bead. Now, while that glue is still wet, really try to maneuver those beads around. Here we go. I think I can do that. There we go. Whew. That almost dried on me. I was getting nervous there for a second. Push that down. And like I said, at the end, when we come in with the heat gun and we kind of warm up that glue, we'll be able to move some of those beads around and it'll be good. Or who knows, you may do it perfectly on your first go. Usually I never do it perfectly on my first go. Here we go. Now the next, I'm going to come off of here and make this part a little bit bigger. Okay. Oh Lord, there we go. Put that one out of there. I don't know, I want to use a thinner bead right there. Put that one off. Push this one right there. Perfect. Look how cute. That bee it may be a little chunky bee, but that's okay. That's okay. It'll look better once we all get it together. Now for our inside frame here that we're going to do, I want to do this metallic line or the silver lined emerald. So pretty. You can see I did that on this frame. Looks so nice. Get our beads on here. Clean that up. Where's my needle? Oh, there it is. Hiding from me in plain sight. All right, load up your needle. And if you're working in real time with me, you will just continue doing the framing and everything. I'm just doing a little bit of each, but just for time's sake. Okay, so I'm going to start up here, work around the curve. Load up our needle again. Get those glue hairs out of here because they cause nothing but madness and spilled beads. Okay. Okay. Oh my goodness, excuse me.
Hi, Lauren, it's Carmi.
Hey, Carmi.
Kathy would love to know, when you design your color combinations, do you lay out a sample of the pattern or are you just winging it?
Oh my goodness, I'm just winging them. I'm very, that's just, she's talking about when picking out the colors.
Yes.
I've always been told that I just have an eye for color and color theory. I really just kind of pick it out as I go because I know what works well with each other, but I don't lay it out ahead of time. I love teals and purples and pinks together. They work really well, but if you if you take a look at a color wheel, sometimes you want to stay right next to the your tertiary colors, which are right next to each other on the color wheel, or you want to do the colors opposite on the color wheel. But yeah, I love picking out colors. It's one of my favorite things. I would just say that I'm a natural at it. I'm sorry. Okay. So there we have that part of the frame done. Now I'm going to show you how I made the flowers on this frame that we have here. So I'll hold it up a little close so you can kind of see what I did here as an example. I did a cluster of 3 beads together, and then that's the center of our flower. Then I picked 2 colors that were kind of alike for our petals. So here I have a silver lined pink. Right next to the silver lined pink, I have like a pink metallic. So those are the 2 that I alternated in sets of 3. So we'll just do our glue dots, sets of 3, 6 times for our 6 petals around our flower. And then on the very outside of that, I just did an outline in a similar color. This one was a pink, let me see what this one's called. It is called a fuchsia blue lined. And I just love how this looks. It's the blue and fuchsia together. It looks 3D almost, very pretty. And then I added a leaf. Okay, so let's hop into that part. And then after that, we'll fill everything up. So I'm going to stick with the orange for the inside of our flower. And this is like a matte orange, very pretty. Love it. Oh, let me always get the beads, before you put your glue down, put the beads on your needle. Or else the glue will dry and you'll try to put it down on cold glue and then it won't work and then you'll be mad at yourself. So I just get a little circle there. And then I place the beads where I do 2 on top, 1 on the bottom. And I'll hold that up closer for you to see, just like that. And then so now this has created 3 flat sides for us. So we have 1 side here, 1 side here, and 1 side here. So I'm going to take my next color, and on those 3 flat sides, I am going to do 3 petals, and then 3 other petals in a different color, which will be this one right here. These are very similar in color, but they're different. Similar but different. So that is the lilac, silver lined, and then the metallic purple. So pretty together. Love those. Okay, so loading up my beads first, then applying the glue in sets of 3. So at the top here, do a little circle. One petal, load up the needle, go over here. Oops, one more petal. Okay, load up the needle. Come over here, do our circle, glue. Oh Lord, there we go. So there we have our 3 petals. Now I'm going to take the other color, which is the same color that we did BFF. And I'm going to lay out these beads where I'll go. It's still the set of 3, but see how here I did 1 first and then 2 on top. Here I'll do 2 at the bottom, 1 on top. Right? Yeah. Okay. Circle of glue. And there we go. So cute. It starts to come together the more you do. Also, if you ever need help picking colors or anything, I'm always available. You know how many voice notes I send to people that send me messages all the time? I just love helping others and answering those crafty questions that you may have. You can always reach out to me. You can comment on this video, or you can find me, Lauren Quigley Creations, on all platforms. Most of the DMs that I get, though, are either on Instagram or Facebook. So there's 2 there, and then 1 up here. Ah, my finger's stuck to the glue. I knew that was going to happen once I touched it. Okay, 1 sec. What? Runaway bead. I'm just going to warm that glue up that's already there with the tip of my hot glue gun. Excuse me. Okie doke. So now we have our cute little flower. Okay, let me get rid of these glue strands. Throw that bead somewhere on the floor that I will vacuum up later. Okay. Now we're going to do our outline. This is our fuchsia blue lined bead. Very gorgeous. I love this. We'll do the outline, and then we will do our little leaf. Oh, always load up the bead or your needle first. I was about to break my own rule just then. Switching hands. All right, now we're just going to go around our flower and do our little outline. And push those beads in those little crevices. It's looking very cute. We're loading up our needle again. Come around this side. Get the glue all on the outside of all of those beads. Using our finger to push those beads into place and slowly pull out the needle. One more right there. Okay. And there's our little flower. Now it's not supposed to look perfect. You don't want it to look perfect. Okay. Oh, you know what I just realized? I have a teal here, but I don't have the green. Hold on. Really quick. Got my handy dandy giant caboodles bin right here, filled with all of my beads. Find the green. There it is. Aha. Easy peasy. All right, so this one is dark green. Sticking with our theme here, the color theme that we have. See how close it is to the, which one is this? The mint julep. They look very, they go very well together. Okay. So we'll load this up. Think about how long you want your leaf. Now I don't draw this out. I'm just going very organically. That is how most of my projects go. Very, very organic as I go. Okay, so what I did is I just kind of did a slight curve like this, coming off of one side of our flower. And then you'll pull that needle. So it looks like this. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the, oopsies, on the other side. Load up that needle. Looks about right. Curve it out like that. Get this one out of there. That's extra. Perfect. So there's the outline of our little leaf, and then we're just going to fill it in. So we'll load up the needle. This looks good. Get some glue inside of there. And fill it in, and then I may even put one right there to the side, on its side. See how cute? And we can do another one going this way. Do two little leaves. Oh my goodness. The glue. That's the other downside about using a hot glue gun. Okay. So I want to do another little leaf on this side as well. And you may find while doing this that you want to do something completely different. You have an idea for a little design in your head, or you want to do some sort of different decoration. That's good too. Do whatever brings you joy or looks good to you. It's fun to experiment. Keep this one short. Here we go. And get my needle done first. And then put some glue in there. And also, you know how when you use a glue gun, sometimes there's little ends that they stick up, you know, like we're saying, those little hairs. Well, I see some on here. They will all melt away at the very end once we use our hot glue, our heat gun. Not the hot glue gun, the heat gun. There's the difference. Okay. Now, pretend I did one on the other side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our, this is the rose silver lined. They're very pretty. I love this. This is going to be our filler bead. So we'll just fill this in all around here. But oh, really quickly, one thing I want to show you, another little decorative design that I did. These orange and light pink, I don't know what to call these. They're kind of like ovals, just little decorations. That's just 5 beads down. And then we just kind of surrounded it with a darker pink, and then the lighter pink is on the outside. I loved the way that looked. It just adds some charm to it. It looks really pretty. So I'll do one of those. Let's see. If I do this even on the other side, I think I would have them right here. So maybe I'll start here. We shall see. See, that's how I say the design, it just develops as you go. It doesn't have to be spot on like mine. You have fun with it. Have fun with it. Mercy of water. Okay. Now we're going to fill in with that light pink. I have one opened already, which is almost gone. So when you fill in, you'll probably need 1 or 2 of the tubes just for filling in. I noticed that when doing this, it took a lot of beads. Okay. So we'll start over here. Now for this part, since we're just filling in, I just load up the needle all the way. Like so. And see, that's why I like using these the ones with the flat head, because they don't fall off. You just hold it on there, like that. Get our hot glue on there. Place the beads, slowly pull out. Okay. Oh, I see one bead popped off over here. That is okay. We will fix that. Like I said, the outside perimeter that we did, that may bump off. You may have some beads flying. That's okay, because you're going to get them back on there, and then we're going to heat it all up at the end with the heat gun, and it'll look like nothing ever flew off. So now this part, it's kind of like Tetris. You're just gonna, some beads, not all beads are created equal. You know, they're pretty consistent, but not all of them are. Some of them are chunkier than others. So some of them are thinner. There's a thin one that will fit in a spot, put it on in there. If you need a larger bead, search it out. Find that bigger bead that will fit in that spot. Here we go. Oh no, that one fell to the side. Oh good, easy fix. The glue was still warm. Ready. So go up here, put some glue in there. And like I said, using the glitter glue sticks or clear, you know, whatever colors, the glitter just looks so pretty. It adds that extra little shine. Load the needle up again. Okay, now I'm going to come down and around over through here. And see, when you have the needle like this, you can kind of just push off, like let's say I need one there. Just push off one, and then you still have all of these loaded up on here while that glue is still warm. Come down here. Get some on their side. See how cute? Okay, remove all of those glue babies, the glue hairs. Okay. Load up your needle again. And you are just going to keep repeating this until everything's done. Now, I'm curious, Carmi, are there any more questions about what I am doing right here?
No, you're good. Someone just asked about painting the frame first and if you needed a
Yes.
base coat. And
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
you could
I
probably
can,
answer that.
of course. So yes, I did say earlier that if you wanted to paint it ahead of time, you totally could. So when I first did this, I did not paint mine. Um, I don't think you need to paint first. You could always paint after the fact around the sides. Like here's mine over here, you can see in the corner. But you totally could paint first. I like the way mine looks, kind of with that raw edge. I feel like it adds to it. If I did paint it, what I would do is I think I would stain it with like a dark brown stain or a little bit of brown acrylic paint mixed with some water, really thin that out, make it look so cute. I love natural wood with beads, with glitter. I did this glitter inlay once on a table. Oh my goodness. Let me just tell you, I still get compliments on that thing to this day. So pretty. Okay. So now you're just gonna be careful a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit more of our light pink in here around the letters. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to set everything with the heat gun. Because see, I know you probably can't see because the camera's not so close, but we have tons of those little stray, see when I pull up, you can see the beads kind of hanging from there. That's the glue gun here. And it will get rid of all of that. So I'm just going to go around the last two letters that we have. So we'll fill in here. Gently push down. I'm gonna go in between these two parts of the F first, because I feel like that's easier. Load our beads again. And then I'm gonna fill in here. Work quickly with the hot glue. Oops. Okay. Now, if you feel that some of the beads are uneven, we'll fix that in just a second. Alrighty. So now we did around those letters. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to finish that off. So what you would do is you would just completely finish this whole piece. And then once you're done, and if you see that, like, you know, any tiny beads have popped off of the end, you can go in, like there I had one come out there, put one back on, make sure that all of the beads are at least in place when you go on to this next step, the final step. Okay, so I'm going to unplug my hot glue gun. Put that safely to the side so that I don't accidentally burn anything. And then this is the heat gun. Never leave this just plugged in, because if you accidentally turn it on, I mean, this thing gets hot, okay? I'm telling you, make sure you're being safe with it. So it's going to sound like a hair dryer, and all it's going to do is it's going to heat up and it's going to get rid of all of those, and you'll see it melt in real time on your own piece, all of those tiny hairs. All right, so you may not be able to hear me, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. And just do motions like this. Never stay in one spot. Hold on. Never stay in one spot for too long. You want to keep it moving. Keep it moving. So like pick an area and then just go like this around. But don't stay in a spot, because then you'll start to see the glue will get too runny and it'll slump. They could fall off the sides. That's not what we want. We just want to melt that glue enough where we can gently press and not have it stick to our fingers. We want it to just be even, be nice and pretty. Okay, here we go. Okay, it works very fast. Those like went very quickly. So you can kind of see I can move it a little bit. That's the glue, it remelted, you know, but the glue is also going to seep into those nooks and crannies from the bead itself, and it makes it way more secure than just the way we did it at first. I hope that makes sense. Again, I am Lauren Quigley, and you can find me on almost all platforms at Lauren Quigley Creation. So if you have any questions, you can reach out or comment here on this video on YouTube. And without further ado, this is the end of the class. Thank you so much for being here with me.